Welcome, everyone, to today's matchup, brought to you by Play VS, where high school esports meets high-level competition. The stage is set, the teams are locked in, and it's time to find out who's got the skill and the strategy to take the win. My name's Andy Prokopchuk. Welcome back to tonight's matchup. Tonight, we're looking, the Bisons are currently ranked 22nd. We're 3-2. We're playing another 3-2 team. This team is ranked 23rd. They're from Bountiful, Utah, Viewmont High School. So before we dive into the action, let's break down the three roles you'll see on the battlefield tonight. First off, we have Tank, the big guns up front. Tanks take the hits, hold the line, and clear the way for their teammates. They're the shield and the spear all at once. Next, we have Damage, or DPS. These are the playmakers, the sharpshooters, the brawlers, the ones who rack up the eliminations and break defenses wide open. If you want to highlight real moments, watch DPS. Next, we have Support, the unsung heroes. They keep their team alive, powered up, and in fighting shape. Without strong support, no team survives long in Overwatch. Together, these three roles form the backbone of every squad, a delicate balance of strength, firepower, and strategy. And tonight, you'll see just how important that balance is. So, our player list, we're starting with our starting lineup. We have, as Tank, Piper Murdoch, grade 12 student, gamertag, Muyo. Next, we have our Damage players. We have Christopher Summick, grade 11, gamertag, C-Play Games, and Cullen Keith, grade 12, gamertag, Starting Point. Next, we have our support players. So, grade 11 student, Randy Anderson, gamertag Skyfire, and Caleb Turden, grade 12, Star Trek fan. So we're excited for tonight's matchup. We've been kind of on a winning streak. We had a few rough starts to the season. This may be our second, I believe this might be our second last game before playoffs actually kick in. So depending on how these next few matches go, we might actually be able to get a good position in playoffs. So again, currently we're ranked 22nd. We were 25th last week, but now we're going to be going, we're up to 22nd. We'll see what happens after this game, what this does to the rankings. But you see this happen. I mean, again, we started off with a victory because the other team didn't show, which totally threw off our rankings, right? But as the regular season goes on, we start seeing this fine-tuning. Every time you win a game and lose a game, you know, you start getting better aligned with the players that are in your bracket. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. Last three matches have been wins. Last two matches have been wins. And yeah, I hopefully the Bisons can keep this win streak going and we can make it into playoffs. I believe playoffs are the top 20. At least they have been in previous years. So if we can actually break into that top 20, we're guaranteed a spot in playoffs. So I believe we would have to win this game as well as maybe another in order to get into playoffs. So yeah, we're hoping for big things from the Bisons. You never know who wins a game, who loses a game, what that does to the rankings. So this should be good. One thing we're looking for this week again is the communication between the players. We saw last week great communication. Not sure, the other, kind of in the post-game talk amongst the organizers of the LCBI Esports program. We were kind of talking like we didn't really know necessarily what the other team's call was swapping out their tank player. They had some really good breakthroughs with their one tank, but then they seem to have swapped it and kind of almost like shot themselves in the foot. So yeah, we're looking forward to some exciting action today. Again, keeping that communication up, finding the opportune times to use their ultimate attacks. Every ultimate's different. Has different benefits. Obviously with a lot of the support players, when they use their ults, they heal everybody. With your damage, usually it pumps out a lot of damage. Tanks, depending on the tank, the ultimates can look a little bit different. I know with Piper Murdoch's tank that she usually plays, you have this weird gravitational pull, like circle, where it raises everybody up in the air and then slams them to the ground, doing an impressive amount of damage. Pretty easy for our DPS then to finish them off. So it'll be interesting to see how the ults get used, if the players put themselves in a position where they can make those ults useful. as well as how they communicate as a team, formulate a strategy, and push the objective. So tonight should be an exciting game. I know we're going to be starting off with Control. So it's game mode. Control, both teams brawl over a single objective. Win 2 out of the 3 rounds to claim the map. Usually that one's an I don't want to say an offshoot, but it is complex because the players will sometimes, they're getting the cobwebs off. For some of our players, they got jazz band practice, so this is the first game they play. Of the day. So again, they're kind of getting the cobwebs off. So it'll be interesting to see if we can sneak out a win for the first game mode, Control. Next, we have Hybrid. Hybrid, step 1, capture point. Step 2, turn that point into a payload and escort it to victory. After that, we have Escort. One team pushes a payload through checkpoints, the other tries to stop them in their tracks. Those 2 game modes have 2 rounds each, right? So you get a round on offense and a round on defense. And it's just a matter of saying, well, how much progress does each team make? So the first team really sets the first team on offense really sets the tone for the second team. So it is a weird draw. Who's playing first? Who's going second? Because again, if you're on first, you kind of. I always like playing second. You play second, and that way you know where the objective is. You know where you have to get the objective passed. So that's both for Hybrid and Escort. Next, we have Push. Teams fight to control a robot in the center and then push it as far as possible into enemy territory. My favorite game mode. I love that game mode. It's fantastic. Only 1 round, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you only get 1 round to push. So it's whoever can make the most progress with the robot. And obviously, the further you push it into the enemy territory, the shorter the distance that the enemy team has to go from their respawn to the robot. Then you have Flashpoint. It's the newest addition to Overwatch 2. Multiple control points unlock at one time. Capture 3 before your opponent to secure the win. Now this is an interesting game mode as opposed to Control. Control is more so like you have individual rounds, right? So you have that time to reset, to think about it. When you go into Flashpoint, there is no reset. It's like, boom, you capture 1, you lose. It immediately changes. So it's a much faster paced game mode. That the players have less time to coordinate, less time to say what went wrong, what went good. So yeah, I don't mind seeing Flashpoint. Flashpoint used to be the first game mode they played last season. I don't mind Flashpoint being at the end. It's a much faster paced game mode. It is definitely more of the edge of your seat. But yeah, I think I would like to see Push. That is my wish to the Play VS organizers. Let's get Push up there. I love Push. I don't know why we have Hybrid, but we have. But again, I'd like to see Push up there because again, if you got a team just absolutely smoking the other team, you don't see Push, which breaks my heart a bit. But that's okay. I think the other, we're ready to go. Okay, so we're entering into our first game mode. So again, this is Control. Both teams brawl over a single objective in 2 of the 3 rounds to claim the map. Okay, so let's get started. This is a fun map in Greece. One of the control points, there's a big well. Essentially, this is Sparta well, where it's interesting. Depending on what kind of buffs your character has, you could actually push people into the well, which is a great way to get somebody KO'd. But let's get started here. Round 1. Okay, so we got Piper Murdoch destroying the waiting area, getting it out of her system. I saw Piper in here earlier. She was the first esports player practicing as soon as school ended. Was in here and fired up Overwatch 2. But time is up. 2-1. Here we go. Yeah, Piper. Maybe we got to talk to her about using the emotes. The emotes, as the tank is supposed to be leading the charge. Not really great. start. Well, that's all right. They waited, so hopefully it's not too much. We got Christopher Summick here as DPS. Doing a relatively decent job scaring him out. I see Piper is actually on the objective. Yikes. Piper getting taken out. Not a great start for the Bisons. Looks like they're might get pushed out of this objective. Great plays from Caleb Curtin here, Star Trek fan. Keeping his team alive, trying to debuff the enemy team. Despite us not having a tank, I'm surprised to see the Bisons out here doing as good a job as they are. Nice! Bisons get a KO, but we traded that for Christopher Summick, one of our primary damage. But we do have Piper Murdoch back. Yikes, this might be leading to a Bison team wipe. We gotta get the tank in there. I don't know if the Bisons start communicating, or, you know, we keep trading one player for one player. But yeah, Bisons have lost not getting the objective. Looks like Viewmont has the objective. The Bisons doing a decent job contesting it. You see their Piper trying to push the enemy team into the well. Piper needs to watch out. Not getting too far. All right, Bisons have capped the objective. Bisons holding. So we're going to see Viewmont there get ready to set up a offensive push here. Ooh, I think that's a Junkrat. Yeah, there he is. Junkrat. Really a good offensive character, but our defensive, I guess, depending on your play style. But can definitely cause havoc from afar. But so far, control. Viewmont hasn't pushed. Good call out on the Bisons. Looks like Viewmont's ready for their push, but I'm a bit confused. I see two damage players. Ooh, I don't know why Piper is hiding here. Two of her teammates were just taken out.
Withdrawing the barrier.
Yeah, not great. Piper strategically falling back, waiting for her team to spawn. So yeah, I'm not sure what Piper was doing there in the corner. She kind of seemed like she was just waiting, and then her teammates were taken out. And damage is all good and said and done, but unless it was KOs, not really super great. Piper needs to get into the front, right? Like to get those damage. See, that's not great. They need to coordinate. They need to coordinate with their supports. That looks like a Bison team wipe. Okay, so we have here Caleb Turton and Christopher Summick waiting for their team to respawn. Team has respawned. Bison's back on the offensive push. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know if it's just poor communication or maybe too defensive. Usually we see Piper as more aggressive than this. But these supports need to coordinate. We see here Caleb Turton sitting on a ult, but we hear Junkrat. Impressive by Junkrat. That was the right call to make. Bison's a little bit too congested there. That's why Junkrat's ult did so much damage. But again, I'm seeing here most of the Bisons are sitting on an ult, and this is their last attempt to use it before they lose. So Bisons need to come up with something. That percentage is ticking. And Christopher Summick using it finally. Not a bad use, but that's objective failed. Okay, so not great on the Bisons. Not a great first round. Round one goes to Viewmont. Didn't look like a lot of coordination from the Bisons. They were not coordinated, and they were sitting on a lot of ults. So just a heads up. So with the ults, how the ults work is when you build up your ults, if you're damaged, the more damage you do, the faster your ult gets up. Professionals will get an ult every 2 minutes, so you see them constantly being fired out. So the Bisons need to use their ults, lay down the damage, get more ults. As I said, and just find those opportune times to use them. right? Like, you know, the opportunities are what you make them. We got 12 seconds before the objective fires up. We have Viewmont attacking the objective already pretty hard. Not sure if the Bisons are singling out or aggroing one character. Definitely need to be targeting the tank in this instance. There, now I'd be targeting that tank. Make him pay for getting up there, but ooh, looks like the Bisons keep falling back in the same direction. Objective's open. Viewmont's on the objective. Bisons need to be a little bit more aggressive with this. Can't wait for Viewmont to come and attack them. Kind of a little bit of, there we go. Nice KO from Piper in the thick of it, chasing, pushing the enemy team out, saying, okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, I don't know if the cobwebs are off, but Bisons have taken control of the objective and pushed them out. They need to watch out that they don't push too far up, but yeah, no, great play from the Bisons. I'm not sure if I would sit on the objective in this case. You're essentially in the kill zone there, so yeah, you might want to set up your defense a little bit up. Piper needs to be more aggressive. Definitely needs to be more aggressive in this one, right? I mean, again, the other characters do not have the damage. I don't know what Piper's doing, hiding back here. Not great. Not a great play from Piper. Yeah, Piper hiding off here in the side while her team made, yeah. You know, kind of a poor performance from Piper on this round. Hiding while her teammates kind of finish them off. This is not going to end well. Not going to end well. Piper having her ult, now would be the time to use it while they are clumped together. She has her support players back. Yeah. See, that's what we get. Okay. So now we have a starting point. This is Colin Keith, grade 12 student. Kind of causing some havoc, trying to target, has an ult. Yeah. Okay, so all Bisons are currently sitting on their ults with the exception of Christopher Sumick. Bisons need to use those ults. This would be the time. Coordinate with each other. Who's using what's ults? What's the plan of attack? Yeah, like I said, if I was Colin right now, I'd be using that ult. Just lay down the damage, make him panic, right? Because even if you use your ult and it fails, just them hearing, oh, he's got his ult and he's going to use it, it causes their defense to shatter. See again, right there, if they would have used their ult, you can take out those characters. There we go. Again, you use the ult, you make them panic, they run away, they hide. Awesome, awesome job there. Okay, so we got... Okay, good. So the support players have their ults. That's not too bad. What we want to see is obviously Viewmont's going to be coming out with an aggressive push. Caleb Turton's going to be having to use his ult this push. It's going to get thick. It's going to get hairy. This is, yeah, I would be waiting for them to commit to the attack. Doing a decent job laying down some support, but we see here Viewmont push here on the left. They're on the objective. Bisons need to stay coordinated. Nice KO. Nice KO. As soon as that tower went up, Bisons targeted them saying, no, not on my house. Yikes. Now I'd be using it. Good call from Caleb Turton. Solid call from Caleb Turton. Using that ult, saying, okay, oh, cool, you used your ult. How about I use mine? Nice. Great use. Great use of the ults from the Bisons. And we see them again. You keep healing, you keep buffing. Nice try. Oh, nice try, Viewmont. Nice try. This is going round 2 goes to the Bisons. All right, so we're going into round 3. So we hit round 2. Again, notable moment. Bisons win, obviously. Caleb, great use of ult, perfectly timed. Piper, not as aggressive as we would have liked to see her. Piper's usually a little bit more aggressive. I don't know if that's a lack of teammates, communications. But no, great game, great win from the Bisons. Again, strategically using those ults, which was great. I know we had Mark on, I think, last week. He was talking about, you know, staggering ults, which is always good, right? But again, that was nice. The support sat on the ults, damage laid down the damage, chased them out of the objective, and then the supports went and healed. So we did a very good use of defensive ults. We got Christopher Summick here, getting taken out, getting aggroed. Chris is probably one of our most I don't want to say useful damage players, but one of our most skilled damage players. We'll see here. There we go. Okay, Bisons are on the objective, so we got both our supports. I don't know if we have any damage players. Yikes. Piper's on her own. Caleb needs to do a mad dash to get to Piper, keep her alive. There we go. Right, Bisons need to hurry up and get back to the objective. Caleb doing a great job debuffing the enemy. Okay, Colin Keith coming here for backup. Bisons maintain control over the objective. Great play from the Bisons. Good nerve of Piper. There's that aggression we were missing. Piper stayed on the objective by herself, rocking a solo, while Caleb fought his way to keep her alive. We have Viewmont trying to organize an offense, I imagine. They're going to be coming out of here. Not too bad. Alts, Christopher Summick obviously having the most alt build up. Nice KO. Aggro them. Make them pay. Make them pay for coming out one at a time. Saying, all right, you want to come at us one at a one? Nice. And I would be using the ult now if I was Christopher Summick. Right when they're shoved up in that back. I said, just scare them. Just scare them. Say, hey, nice try. Get out of here. I said, Chris, remember, the use of the ults, Chris is going to be getting that ult faster than the rest of the Bisons. Other Bisons at 60% roughly, so they're not really giving the Bisons any opportunity to build the ult. Piper needs to watch out. Piper needs to watch out. Ooh, Piper has found the enemy team. Piper has found the enemy team. Getting some decent KOs here. Nice, Piper has her ults. They maintain control here. Bold move from, oh, nice! Bold move! Nice! And Bisons maintain control. Oh, you're gonna come in here one at a time again, are you? Nice! Bisons maintain control of the objective. I thought that was it. They came out at Mock Chicken. And that is round 3, game 1 win for the Bisons. All right, let's see here. Play of the game. Looks like this is a Viewmont player. That's a double kill. All right, 3 kills, not bad, not great, but no, huge win for the Bisons. Game 1. Piper, nerves of steel, staying on the objective, alone. Alone while Caleb had to fight to get to her. The other Bisons were respawning. Again, great heals from the supports. Okay, so round 1, just a reminder, so round 1, it went to Viewmont. The Bisons weren't really coordinating and sitting on their ults. But anyway, round 2, Bisons came back swinging. It was a Bison win. Caleb had a great use of his ult, healing to cancel out the enemy ult. Piper wasn't as aggressive in round 2 as she normally was, but she totally changed that around in round 3. Again, win for the Bisons. Piper, nerves of steel, sitting on the objective alone while Caleb was fighting to get to her. The other Bisons were responding. But again, even Randy Anderson, our other support, doing a great job keeping the team alive. So, yeah, game 1 goes to the Bisons. We're going to getting geared up here for game 2. So game 2 is hybrid. So step 1, capture a point. Step 2, turn that point into a payload and escort it to victory. There are 2 rounds to this game mode. Yeah, it's just to tell, it's just to see who's on offense, who's on defense this starting round. But no, so great plays we saw from the Bisons. Game one, this is exciting stuff. Okay, so if you're looking at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we see the teams communicating about who they're banning. So you're allowed to ban one character per game. Both teams have the option to ban a character. So this is where you strategically try and ban. Like if they have a really good player, you try to ban that player. Or if you have a weak player as tank, you know, if they have a weak tank, odds are they're not going to have a probably a secondary. Okay, looks like we're jumping into game two. Okay, so round one, here we go. All right. And looks like we're attacking first. Okay, so not ideal. But that's okay. So Bison's on offense. Offense starting off. So okay, we have to fight to get to the objective. Usually the objective has a choke point. That you have to overcome. So kind of like one, maybe two areas of entry. Once you get past the choke point, you get to the objective. After you get to the objective, it turns into a payload, and you have to escort it to the next objective area.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, here we go. Let's switch things up a bit. Got Skyfire. Ooh, bold offense from Viewmont. Playing Reaper. We're following Randy Anderson right now, Skyfire. Doing a pretty decent job, again, laying down the damage as well as keeping her teammates alive. Not seeing the kind of aggression. I almost would say trade spaces. I would have Piper maybe where Chris is, and Chris Piper is, but Piper looks like Piper has broken through. Yikes, keeping Piper alive. Piper got a bit too up front there. Randy doing a great job. Just again, I know you want to call her the gray character, but doing a good job just healing, making sure everybody's alive. Piper's still not at full health. We have Caleb Turden.
I'm here.
Caleb Turden low on health, but oh, he's back up. Okay, this is good because Bisons have broke through the choke point. Now it's just a matter of outmaneuvering, outplaying the enemy team. Piper hunting down the enemy team. Yikes, not a great call there. I saw Randy try to take on Reaper. Don't want to do that close. Unfortunately, that's a team wipe for the Bisons. Not a bad push, but all that progress is undone as Viewmont gets back into the defensive position. So Bisons need to see, okay, what did we learn from that? Who are they even playing? Remember, we didn't know who the opposing team was, what characters they picked. Here's this choke point I was talking about. Unfortunately, all that progress made is undone. Piper needs to get up there. You can see them pick these corners. Viewmont doing a good job. There's that Reaper making a getaway. Nice! Piper has her ult. If she can coordinate with her supports to keep health up and view on the enemy. Ooh, good use of ult from the Reaper. Looks like Reaper, whoever's playing their Reaper, very good job. Good use of the ult. Bisons were really congested and clumped up. But you know what? We have two ults, Christopher Sumick and Piper Murdoch, or three ults with Randy Anderson. Bisons need to coordinate They need to watch out chasing this Reaper. Yeah, if you're gonna try and hunt this Reaper down, that's a bit of a challenge. Okay. Nice. Piper uses this. This is where Christopher Summit needs to come in with his ult. This is what I was talking about with the coordination. Like when you have your ult, the ideal thing is for you to coordinate with saying, okay, I'm gonna use my ult and you use your ult. Like now, Christopher Summick's the one who's gonna have to use his ult. Yeah, Christopher Summick's gonna have to use his ult, break up their defense, and then I would say imagine Caleb Turton. Yeah, good use there. Okay, now if I was Chris, now would be the time. Now would be the time. Coordinate with your team, use that ult. Break it up, good. Caleb Turton using his ult. Awesome job. Okay, Bison's breaking through. They only have 14 seconds to get on that objective before the game is up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're in overtime. Good use of the Bisons. That's pushing her close. And Bisons capture it. They get 2 minutes and 30 seconds added to the clock. Not great though. Bisons need to keep this objective moving very quickly.
There they are.
Yeah, not super great, but that's all right. Not sure what Caleb's doing here up at the front. Okay, they need to stop chasing this Reaper. The Reaper is essentially baiting them into giving up on their plans. Nice, 2 KOs. Alright, let's take a look, see who else we're dealing with. Alright, so looks like we have starting point. That's Colin Keith switching up heroes. Now might be a good, nice. Moving Silver Knight. Okay, they gotta keep this payload moving. They have 1 minute and 42 seconds to get this all the way across the map. Bisons need to keep this moving.
Enemy turret destroyed.
All right, Bison's slowly making their way downtown with that. They're gonna have to pick up the pace on this. Doing a great job now. Ooh, okay, so they're getting chased out. Oh, yikes. Nice. Caleb Turton, again, using his ult strategically to cancel out. We have Colin Keith using... if I was Colin right now, I'd get up nice and high and say, all right, I know you guys are going to be assaulting all at once. Perfect. Now would be a perfect time. Use it now. Absolutely. Crush that out. Lock that in because they're all in a drawbridge. I would use it and make them absolutely fear getting out on the bridge. Still not using it. Not a great... Yeah, lots of opportunities there for Colin Keith to be using his ult. A lot of opportunities there. We see here Piper Murdoch using her ult though and getting a KO. Buying time for the Bisons who only have 20 seconds left to get the objective to the first round. Unfortunately, that doesn't... Unless Colin can pull something out with his ult, I'd be using... Yeah, right now... Gets one. Bisons are going to have to hopefully get here. Yeah, and looks like Bisons got it. Round one plus 101.28 meters. Okay, so they got 1 point and 101 meters. So that's what they have to. That's what Beaumont's going to have to beat. Okay, so now Bisons are on the defense. So I think this will have to, the Bisons are going to have to stop them at the choke, essentially. Stop them at the choke, kill time, because if a team can get to the objective really fast, that's more time that gets added on for them to get to the first objective. And I think that's what actually stalled out our Bisons, was they made a couple of mistakes and they got team wiped. And because they got team wiped, they didn't have long to make it to the secondary point here. So we're going to take a look and see what they can come up with. Okay, so round 2, Bison's on defense.
Do not fear, for love is always painful.
Five, four, three, two, one.
All right, and here we go. Looks like we have Christopher Summick firing off shots. Keeping an eye on 2 different alleys. Dumont pushing up again. That Reaper is absolutely devastating. Looks like we've definitely done some character swaps here. Doing a pretty good job at holding people down at the objective. Another KO. Looks like we have Colin Keith got taken out there. As long as the Bisons can keep the pressure up though at this choke point, should be fine. Should be giving Colin enough time to get back to the objective. Bison so far doing a decent job. They have to hold him here for 3 minutes. 3 more minutes for them to squeak out this. Yikes, and looks like they're targeting the supports. Good play by Viewmont. Essentially, they're targeting everybody but the tank. And now, there's the tank by themselves. So, that's a strategy we saw. We would have liked to see that from the Bisons last week. But again, that idea of targeting everybody but the tank, you can't be so fixated on the tank. If the tank has a full support, good offense. Viewmont, interesting tactic. They're harassing the Bisons, and they're buying to make time. This is a great strat from Viewmont, because what they're looking saying is, like, we know we don't have to win. We just have to get it further than the Bisons did, 101 meters. So not, yeah, see, this is not looking too great. All right, them coming through the secondary check, choke point. Bisons, this is going to be a tough battle. We're going to have to hold them here for 4 minutes. So we're not seeing the ult that we typically see from the Bisons. We're all slowly making our way. Piper mixing it up with the tank hero. We get 2 KOs. Do I hear 3? Yikes. Yikes. Alright, Bison slowly getting taken out. Looks like it's going to be a team kill for the Bisons. Or team kill on the Bisons. Bisons all waiting to respawn. I'm not sure if game 2 is going to go to the Bisons. Okay, so this is where we got to last round. Looks like Colin was taken out again. Okay, we see that rectangle. That's where they have to get to. Chris going for clutch. Yikes! And another Bison wipe. So this looks like game 2 is gonna go. Yeah, game 2 round 2 goes to Viewmont. Alright, so not super great there. Bison seemed a little uncoordinated. Viewmont had, I don't know if necessarily good pushes. I mean, again, well, I mean, really, when Viewmont uses the ults, that's when they get, that's when they break ahead. So they had some pretty good use of their ults. We saw that in the play of the game. So that means we're going. So game 2 goes to Viewmont. All right, so we're going into game 3. Game 3 is Escort. One team pushes a payload through checkpoints, the other tries to stop them. So this is kind of like the same game mode that you saw, except without that breakout point. You know, the objective already you already start with the payload objective to capture. So, yeah, we're gonna see how this works. I mean, I would say it was weird watching Viewmont play because even when they were on defense, they were more offensive. This kind of goes to a good offense beats a good defense, and they were really annoying with their Reaper, because the Reaper would go and like essentially frazzle the Bisons. They would chase the Reaper. The Reaper would do his little shadow thing where you can't attack him and go back to his teammates. So the Bisons would just almost be like chasing the dragon, and then they'd go into they'd meet the enemy fire. So it was almost like a little bait. So they were baited into chasing the Reaper. So Bisons are going to have to be on the lookout for that again. You can't fall for that. That Reaper's going to go, depending if that Reaper can't get any KOs, maybe you avoid the Reaper. Maybe you avoid the Reaper. But no, I think, yeah, that's the strat for that one. Like, okay, so you have the Reaper causing I don't know, havoc's the right word, but okay, ignore the Reaper. You know that it's a 5-on-4. Go do your 5. If the Reaper comes close, you turn your attention, you'll focus on the Reaper. As soon as he hits that shadow, I would just disengage. All right, good, yeah, you learned your lesson. Take a hike, and you just keep pushing as a team. But yeah, game 3. So let's take a look. I don't know if the Bisons are going to be starting off on offense, but I hear that the players are ready to go. So now it's 1-1. So this is for game 2. So we're going to be playing push. I get another wish. We're going to be doing push. Alright, Bisons are on offense. So Bisons starting off again. Again, I'm not a big fan of starting on offense. Bad luck in the draw. Looks like we have Christopher Summick swapping out. Caleb staying true, and Randy Anderson staying true.
So let's give it to them.
Looks like we have Colin Keith going back to kind of the starting lineup with the difference of Christopher Summick. So let's take a look and see what the Bisons can pull off. They're on the push.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing.
Okay, there is the payload. Bison's on the payload, moving it up. Good. Bison's pushing back Viewmont. And again, I don't think that necessarily you have to get KOs to make a benefit. Piper being a little bit too defensive. Piper needs to be up front. Because again, Piper's on the offense. Supports need to be healing Piper. But Piper needs to be up front, pushing that objective. Every inch counts. Defense, you could be a little bit more kind of like hide behind corners and stuff. But for this, Piper needs to be up front and center. Because remember, the idea being that if the enemy's not shooting at Piper, they're shooting at the other Bisons. And that's kind of how Piper needs to view it. Piper needs to soak up that damage, coordinate with support, essentially be a big old distraction scenario. Bisons are halted here. We do not want to be halted. I'd be pushing right up to that objective. Good news is Piper is getting her ult faster than any of the other Bisons. So doing great there, 91%. Now I'd be using that ult. They're all clustered together. 100% I'd be using that ult. 100%. Because that's going to scatter them. Decides to hold on to it. We'll see if that pans out. Caleb turned. I don't know why we're falling back here with an ult. This is the time to be pushing. If Caleb has that ult. Good use of the ult from Piper. Looks like the other Bison's rushing in there. Unfortunately, the supports kind of let Piper down on that one. We got Randy Anderson again. Sitting on an ult. We'll wait for the Bisons to re-coordinate. If I was starting point, I'd be getting out of there. I think he's actually switched to Soldier 76. Nope. No, still hasn't. That's all right. Bison's coordinating a push.
Area denial.
Nice, and Bisons need to be pushing in. All right, we have an ult from Colin Key. This is a perfect avenue for his ult, just due to the fact that this is a long corridor. I'd be using that ult right now. I'd be hitting that ult, getting in there.
This ends now.
Here we go. Again, make him panic. Make him panic. Unfortunately, the supports didn't push up with him. This is where, again, not only is an ult necessary to win, but you also have to coordinate the ults. So you need to talk to your team about saying, hey, I got an ult. Let's use it. We got Randy still sitting on her ult. So maybe we'll see Randy use her ult. Again, another good ult for a narrow corridor. So this will actually be the perfect avenue for Randy to use her ult. Just enough to get past this, because this is a choke point. Every time the Bisons go past this corner, they get taken out. We saw a good push, a good attempt to push. There we go. And unfortunately, we had them use their ult to counter.
Team kill.
But at least they were, yeah.
30 seconds
See.
remaining.
Yeah, Bisons did not make it far. Used this, I would say in some cases, used their ults a little bit too late. Yeah, I would say the biggest thing we're seeing from this round is what the Bisons got held up at a capture point, or at a choke point.
Score 0-0.
Yeah, didn't even get to the first one. That's okay. They got 35.2 meters. Yeah, held up at a choke point. Maybe sat on ults a little bit too long. Because remember, the idea being that you could definitely, at this stage of the game, you could definitely at least get 2 ults per game, right? So, I don't want to say fire off the ult initially, but as soon as you notice that there's a choke point, this is where the Bisons had to go and say, okay, here's the choke point, we got to coordinate. We saw good attempts at using ults. Piper used her ult. We saw Colin use his ult. We saw Randy use her ult. Didn't get a chance to see any of the players. I saw Caleb use his ult, keeping them alive, but it was almost more of a defensive, whereas the Bisons need to say, okay, we're held up. We got to use our ults. How do we use it at the strategic position? We got Christopher Summick kind of just halting there, leaving his team behind, or his team leaving him behind. Chris needs to get there. He has 18 seconds before those doors drop and set up your offense. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. Hopefully the Bisons can mimic the defense that Viewmont used on them. Because, yeah, all Viewmont has to do is get it up 35 meters, and they get a point. They get the win. So yeah, Bison setting up a decent defense up here. Maybe going to seem to be a little bit further up. Piper trying to sneak. Yeah, there's that Reaper. Gets taken out. 2 of the V1 players have been taken out. Now's the time to push on the objective, however. You know it's a 5-on-3. You know they don't have the damage. There's 4 taken out. The first guy getting eliminated probably should be respawning. There they are. Yeah, the Bisons. This is a tough one. Not a lot of players were up here. Looks like they are targeting the Reaper. Saying, okay, we know this guy likes to sabotage. Nice KOs. Nice KOs. 2 KOs. Now's the time to push. Now's the time to push. So you know it's a 3v5. Ooh, a very aggressive play by Viewmont. They need to take out this last one. Alright, nice. Bisons get this. The payloads should start moving backwards ever so slightly, but at this stage of the game, this is what you want. Keep that objective slowly inching back. Slowly inching back. I'm not sure what Caleb Turton's doing. It looks like he's getting some high ground. I don't know if he's trying to heal or debuff from up high. Yeah, see, this is not great. This is not great, just because you don't want to be a support on your own. Yikes. Yeah. Good assassination on Reaper. Yeah, see, unfortunately, Caleb's the only one with an alt. Hyper almost on an alt. And it looks like that's game. And that's game. Round 2, Viewmont. Viewmont wins. Not a lot of time there. Yeah, this Pleb Hunter as Reaper. Kind of been the debate of our existence. I don't know if they've banned Reaper yet. But you just see the play of the game. You see how devastating those alts are. All alts can be that devastating. It it's just a matter of how strategically you use it when you jump in there. I mean, the whole big thing is if the Bisons don't go looking for opportunities, no opportunities are going to fall in their lap. I mean, sometimes they do. That's fine. But I definitely would say they're obviously team captain Pleb Hunter is their best player. Great game from Viewmont. But yeah, Bisons really need to come together because right now, Bisons won round 1. Bisons won game 1. Viewmont won games 2 and now 3. So if Viewmont wins game 4, and remember, there is no rounds. This is one game. Whoever gets that robot furthest wins. So Bisons need to win this to get us to game 5. If Viewmont wins, that's it for tonight. So Bisons, this is all or nothing for the Bisons. Came out strong, but they need to start coordinating their alts, coordinating attacks, defenses. Again, when we saw them take out, it'd be kind of, they take out 2 characters or 2 players, and then they kind of sit back. It's like, well, you gotta push up there, right? It's 3v5. That's the time to be aggressive and be like, all right, we're gonna go, because their team's communicating, being like, hey, we got 2 guys having to respawn. If the Bisons are aggressive, psychologically that will mess with them. But they have to take a look and see what happens in game 4. So we'll be starting in a moment. All right, I think we are ready to go here for game 4. Yeah, Bison's entering. I mean, this is kind of the level of difficulty we see here, right? When you have, this level of competition, you need to coordinate, a bit. And what we're finding is the Bisons, I don't think the Bisons are playing any better or any worse than they have. Obviously, there's some exceptions. There's some examples of like, oh, okay, well, they're going to made some minor mistakes, but that happens every round. That happens every game, right? But I think what they're seeing now is that the level of competition has heightened. The level of competition have heightened to the point now where it's like, well, now you're playing against teams good enough. You need to coordinate your moves, and that's I think what the Bisons are coming up to. So here we go. Bison's making their way. We're going to see the door open, 17 seconds. some fun tongue-in-cheek from the other team. Yeah, taxes. Yeah, I get it. I get it, kids. Although they're American, so they don't even know what taxes are compared to Canada. Somebody says you want to complain about taxes. Canada. But here we go. Bisons are off. So now it's a mad dash to the robot. The robot doesn't unlock right away. Obviously, you see there on your screen 20 seconds until the robot unlocks. So it's essentially fighting the first 20 seconds in a bloodbath. Okay, Piper being a... I think somebody needs to remind Piper she's the tank. Unlocks, and there we go. There is their Reaper again, and running away and hiding again. I wouldn't chase. I wouldn't chase. Interesting, the Bison didn't choose to ban the Reaper, but they lost control of the robot. Again, we're chasing that robot. We're chasing the Reaper. I don't think that's a good call to make with the Bisons. Bison's down the back foot as Viewmont pushes forward out of the Coliseum. Just remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and the Bisons have a lot of game left. We got we got 8 minutes and 50 seconds left for Bisons. We got to win here, but remember, this is no rounds. This is it. The Bisons needing to. Yikes! I'm not too sure what was happening there. Nice KO from Colin. But again, I don't know if that was a good trade. We'll see. It's now going to be 4-on-4. But Colin's guy kicked the bucket before Viewmont's guy did. So it looks like Viewmont got it to .1. Okay, and then maintain control. Don't they keep chasing. Keep chasing. I wouldn't be targeting. I'm not sure what the Bisons are doing here. All right, Bisons maintain control of the robot, and the Bison's going. Viewmont short of getting 1 point there, but they get it 65.58 meters. Bisons have a lot of ground to cover. Bisons need to remain on the front foot here. Again, with the tank up front, Piper's tank a little bit more maneuverable than the last one, but doing a not too bad job. Nice use of an ult from Christopher Summick. Just saying, all right, guys, so you want to be in front of the robot? There you go. Not sure how much ground was covered. But we see here again, Chris doing a decent job laying it down there, but that's going to be a Bison wipe. Again, we see some ults. They got to use their ults. Yeah, this is where we're going to see the Bisons having to coordinate. Team respawns. Skyfire going a little bit in there. Colin Keith going a little bit further in than maybe they would like. But now let's start coordinating the ults. All right, Cullen, not very long for this. All right, let's take a look and see what the Bisons can do. Bisons not as coordinated as maybe they should have. This is where Cullen's ult really would have been effective as they were clumped up together like that. Yeah, no. It seems to me that Viewmont's knowledge of the map is very effective. They know once the robot's at a certain objective, they know where the Bison's going to be attacking from. But yeah, it looks like Viewmont's knowledge of the map is very impressive.
Area denied. Back in control. Coming through.
Yikes! I mean, good bait from. Yeah, good bait from Colin. Baited in away. Nice use of ult from Randy. Good angling on that, saying, okay, fine, you want to all hide behind this corner? Terrifying use of the ult from Viewmont. Again, their Reaper absolutely devastating. Yeah.
cannot allow them to take the robot.
Looks like Cullen went in there, went swinging for the fences. Unfortunately, nobody was really there. So Beaumont pushing up 96 meters, 97 meters, making their way to the bridge. Again, the advantage being that the Bisons don't have long to push the robot. And again, there's less time has gone by than there is on the tail end. So if the Bisons can turn things around, start coordinating, moving that robot, they could win this. They can make just as much progress as Beaumont. So they have to remember, stay on the objective. Nice. Bisons get takeout. KO. Looks like we have Star Trek fans switching up their support. Nice, and we got another KO for the Bisons. So Bisons need to get this robot moving. We're looking at 4 meters versus 103 meters. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. This can work, but Bisons are gonna not only stay on the objective, but even push past the objective. They cannot afford to have this contested. If the objective is contested, the Bisons will lose. So Bisons are slowly pushing up. And again, remember, Bisons have to be ahead of the objective. 2 KOs from the Bisons. Looks like Beaumont's a bit frazzled. I don't know. Beaumont is very comfortable on the front foot. A lot of good coordination from the Bisons. Star Trek fan debuffing. And, all right, great play from the Bisons. Making progress. Pushing that robot. But again, Bisons cannot all be clumping near the robot because one ult and the Bisons are taken out. So they're going to have to go a little bit more aggressive. Kind of presume where the enemies are going to be and take that. And here we go. Looks like they're attacking from the rear. I don't even know where that was. Bisons get 2 Ks for one. Nice. There's 3. There's 4. Ooh, good use of the ult. Saying, all right, there you go, Beaumont. Yikes. I don't know if I would chase that. Stay on that objective. We need somebody to stay on that objective. Colin Keith making the right call. Stay on the objective. Here's Christopher Summick. And Randy Anderson. Again, good. Randy has an ult. Now's the time to use it. Use it on this angle. Let your teammates. Yeah. Okay, we got now. Yikes! You got to think 3 steps ahead. There's no way the Bisons really couldn't afford to lose that. It'll be interesting to see what the Bisons could pull off here. At 2 minutes, that robot is going. We got Christopher Summick kind of sitting still. Did a character swap? Or no, not a character swap. Okay. Bison's doing a decent job pushing. They said these last 2 minutes is going to be tough. Bison's right now at a disadvantage. If that timer hits 0, Bisons will lose. Bisons need to push the robot back to their center, but they're actually getting a lot of KOs here. It's now 3 on 5, so Bisons need to keep that aggression up. Keep pushing because you know they're going to be strategically falling back. Okay, Bison's right call here, pushing up, but they need to be ahead of that robot, not behind it. All right, so we're going to have here an offense from... Yikes, there they are. Ooh, great use of, or great timing for the ult. Now would be time for Christopher Summick to maybe fade off into the distance. Coordinate with their supports. Chris is very low. Oh, nice attempt at Christopher Summick to use that. Unfortunately, Bisons are kind of come up a few meters short here as the robot starts making its way back to the center. This is what the Bisons can do. This is it. This is the last push from the Bisons. If the Bisons can't get this robot pushed, they're hooped.
60 seconds remaining.
It's go time. Robot
Nice KO there. We're getting the gate. We're up on them. Bisons are up by 1. Yikes. Great. Okay, so again, I think Bisons are running into the same issues that they did last week. they keep trying to attack a character who's getting healed more faster than the damage they can output. Switch up the game mode. Switch up the plan. If they're attacking, if they're getting healed faster than you can output the damage, we'll switch it up. Switch it up. Go and get the support character. We might be going into overtime here. Bisons need to push this up. Bisons might win this one.
Stick with the robot.
Yeah, this is where now we have aggression. Use the ults. Throw everything you have at them. Bisons might win this. It's contested. Bisons win. There we go. All right, we're going into Game 5. All right, well, it looks like Pleb Hunter definitely their best character. We maybe need to do something about Pleb Hunter. Maybe if the Bisons target him, okay, so what we saw there, Viewmont knew the map, did a really good map awareness in the first half, had the Bisons on the back foot, getting up to 103 meters. After that, they couldn't get back to that placement. In the second half, Bisons came back up to 91 meters for the majority of the game. After they got past that 91 meters, it actually got into Bison overtime. Within the last minute, Bisons pushed up, and then I said one by one targeted the enemy characters, and that was it. Bisons got the W. That's huge. Okay, so we're going into Game 5. All right, so this is exciting because this actually might impact playoffs. If the Bisons can get this W, this is gonna mean a win, like a playoff spot for the Bisons. So we're going to Flashpoint. It's the newest addition to Overwatch 2. Multiple control points unlock at one time. Capture 3 before your opponent secures the win. Not too dissimilar from the first game mode of Control. However, this is going to be a bit of a challenge because you have less time to coordinate, less time to say, hey, do this, say, oh yeah, this didn't work, this worked, or whatnot. So Bisons are going to have to be on comms a lot. They're going to need to be talking. They're going to need to be communicating. They're going to need to be coordinating not only their attacks, but their pushes, their ults. It all comes down to this, guys. Game 5 for tonight's matchup. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. Let's go, Bisons. We're back here for Game 5. Let's do this. I'm excited. See what the Bisons can do. So again, there's going to be 3 capture points. They're going to open up. It's going to be the same map. No loading, no rounds, no nothing. It's one game mode, but you're scoring points. So this is definitely an action-packed game mode. Game 5. Here we go. Let's take a look and see what happens. Looks like we're going back. Piper's going back to her original tank. Yes, Colin Keith, Randy Anderson keeping her ult. Okay, guys, you can tell I'm nervous. I'm like, all right, guys, quit doing the emotes. Do the thing. Do the win thing. Go win. All right. So they're out. They ran out of there. Looks like we have Christopher Summick leading the charge. Turning around, saying, "Hey, where's my team? Where's my team? There they are. All right. Okay. So Chris, first blood goes to. I should say first blood, but Chris is definitely the one throwing shots. Saying, "All right, come at me." Good ambush from their Reaper. I'm not sure if they... I can't recall who they banned. I definitely would have banned that Reaper. Unless the Bisons banned them in game 1. Because, yeah, that Reaper has been absolutely devastating. And I think that's that Pleb Hunter. Bisons holding back for recoordination. And looks like Viewmont has the objective. So Bison's doing their push. Bisons have to get in there because with Flashpoint, the Flashpoint objectives go a lot faster than the control ones. So Bison's on objective. All right, Bison's now setting their defense. Again, this is a weird one because Bisons are in the kill zone. You don't want to hang out there for too long because there's so many avenues for you to attack. So you almost have to like pull away from the objective strategically. Bisons are climbing. This is good. Good heals. Okay, Bison's already capturing more percentage. You better hope that Bisons hopefully are keeping an eye on their screen and seeing, okay, they're not on the objective. Okay, good. Because Bisons are slowly making an effort. There he is. Yikes! Great use. Great use there. Bison's got up to 85%. Okay, but they gotta get back on the objective quick. After this, the new objective opens, so there's not a lot of time. Bisons need to either commit to the attack, push in, get on the objective to halt that timer. Nice. Nice strategic. We can see here Viewmont kind of panicking. Bisons need to understand. Ooh, good use of ult from Piper. Great use of an ult. Bisons recapture the points with Viewmont at 96%. And point 1 is going to go to the Bisons. Bisons are leading. All right, now Bison's going. So again, there is no rounds, no nothing. It's go. Stay tuned to the actions. Great use of ult from Piper there. Took their team, said, oh, you guys want to hang out together? And we see they're already on the objective. Kind of the advantage to losing the first point, because you have more time to coordinate. They're trying to get in there saying, okay, every second counts. Nice, good use from the Bison saying, all right, where's the Reaper? We know he's going to try and ambush us. Yikes. Bison's getting taken out here.
Everyone on me.
We see here Colin Keith kind of running in there. Nope, good, he stopped. You don't want to see them rush in there one by one. If they rush in there one by one, they're gonna get taken out. You want to see them. You want to see the Bisons, coordinating as a team, working together. Okay, Viewmont is pushing. Second objective, Viewmont holding on to that, still haven't given up possession of this. Bisons need to get on there and cap that objective. Now's the time you gotta lay the damage down, get on the objective. Every second helps. Cullen Keith hiding down here, not great. Especially with Cullen sitting on an ult. Yeah, see, and this is what happens, again, when you're damaged, if you're not shooting someone, you're doing it wrong, right? Viewmont looks like they're going to get the second point uncontested.
What am I
So
missing?
now the Bisons need to
No slacking. Get to the next point.
push to the next one. So just like we saw with Viewmont, Bisons need to sit on that objective. So as soon as it opens, Bisons are ready. Looks like Viewmont is coming out of the gate swinging. So we have one ult. One ult. Piper has an ult coming up here. Looks like we traded. Bisons need to be on that objective. Ooh, nice. Okay, I would, if Piper, this is a tough call to make. We got tank v tank. I might use that ult. It's contested. Yeah, I definitely would use that ult now. Saying, okay, well, let's go and like mess up the team. Yeah. Here's the big challenge with that situation. You know, what does Piper do? Does she use the ult? Randy has the ult. Do they use it? Do they wait for the team to respawn?
Can I really do this?
They need to get these ladies need to get moving. Need to get moving.
Think like that.
Because Viewmont is at 23. They cannot allow this to be uncontested. Bisons need to get in there. Need to coordinate their ults. Piper is sitting on. We're gonna call Piper. Piper having an ult. Nice. Okay, Bisons need to get on that ult. Viewmont now at Viewmont at 58%, 60%, and climbing. Bisons do not have long. The Bisons were at an advantage. Unfortunately, that advantage was taken away as Viewmont gets on there. They need to get on the objective. They need to say, okay, you're gonna follow me to the kill zone. Good aggro from Piper, targeting the support. Unfortunately, Piper doesn't look like she has the support of her other team. Yikes, this might be it for the Bisons. We're in overtime. Starting point, Colin Keith. Good attempt from Colin Keith in that. We got Christopher Summick up here at the front. Yeah. You know what? Viewmont may have gotten 100% there
We need to attack
and
the
won
objective.
in game 5, but
At the next point.
oh, you need 3 to win. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm losing it here. Okay, sorry, 5, best out of 5. All right, Bisons still. So Bisons need to win every one. So this is so Bisons need to sit on the point. So yeah, sorry folks. I don't think I've seen us get to a control or to a flash point in a while. Sorry, it's best of 5. So the game continues. Okay, so looks like Bison's got to the objective first. Okay, here we go. Now would be a time for Colin to kind of try and get an edge on here. Get it. Bison on. Ooh, yikes. So Colin using his ult, actually doing a good job. It resulted in their tank being taken out. Unfortunately, all the other Bisons were taken out with them. It's not great. Not great. But this is why you got to coordinate. You got to coordinate your ults. So when you got your ult, but guys, I got ult. I'm going to use it. You need a support on you, a support on the tank, and you got to push. Okay, so Viewmont has control over point. 4, not great. Last 2 points uncontested. I guess technically it's 3 because Bison's also had a. Well, no, Bison didn't. It wasn't uncontested at that point. But Bison's definitely need to do something. Good use from Piper, getting the jump on him, saying, all right, you want to retreat? I'll give you a retreat. But again, Piper needs to focus on maybe not the people getting healed, but the healers themselves. Tough to say. Bisons need to start coordinating and maybe coordinating aggro. So great job from the Bisons. Here we have Pleb Hunter, obviously the best team member, and it's a good strat that Pleb Hunter's using, saying, I'm going to bias every second he possibly can. And that's what he's doing. When Pleb Hunter is up there rocking a solo, and there we go, there's the Viewmont gets the next control point. So, really great games. Really great games. Pleb Hunter again. So this goes to show the difference one player can make. I don't think we've seen a play of the game from anybody else but Bloodhunter. Obviously playing next level player, Bloodhunter. Absolutely. Let's take a look here, Pleb Hunter. Yeah, there you go. This is Pleb Hunter's scorecard. Level 707. So obviously a very skilled player. 391 hours time played. Not super high. Be interesting to see how this compares to the Bisons. However, we did actually see some good games. I mean, if you think about it, guys, as we get closer to playoffs, the teams are going to be more equally balanced, which is what we saw. We saw the teams, I mean, again, we finally got to Game 5. Bisons put up one good fight after another. So, yeah, we'll see what this does. We'll see what this does for the rankings. Because we went to Game 5, we're not going to drop as much as, let's say, another team getting raffle stomped, not winning a single game. So, you know what? Really happy with the Bisons. Obviously not the outcome we would have wanted. However, it just shows you how competitive this is. The more you play, the more coordinated you have to be. You have to not only get coordinated attacks, pushes, but also the use of ults. Okay? So, anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. This has been definitely an exciting game of Overwatch. Tune in next week. It might be our last regular season game. So I guess that being said, God bless. Go